From Simon & Schuster Audio.
Happiness and Love, read by the author Zoe Dubno. I was born here and I'll die here, against my will. Bob Dylan. While everyone was waiting for the actress to arrive from her premiere, I sat in the corner seat of the white linen sofa at Eugene's with my legs crossed, watching the rest of the party and regretting my decision to attend. I was surrounded by the very people that I'd spent the last 5 years avoiding, people who had taken advantage of the death of our friend Rebecca to drag me back into their cathedral of modernist rococo on the Bowery. I had recently returned to New York, the city of my birth, from London, where I had been living. The decision to return was not mine. I had run out my visas, first in Europe and then in the UK, and had no other option but to return to America for the winter. Only now, as I sat on the sofa, watching Eugene, a man who could reasonably be called one of my closest friends, describe the materiality and the performance of a set of bookshelves he just installed, did I realize that I could have waited out the winter months in Papua New Guinea, or China, or some other place where I knew nobody, and the European and British immigration authorities had no hold over me. I realize now that I would have been better off in Papua New Guinea, or China, or some other third place. I hadn't seen Eugene or anyone at his party in the 5 years since I'd left New York for a brief trip to Rome, a city with its own problems, which I'd soon fled for London. I hadn't told anyone that I was back from London, but then I ran into Eugene that morning, when I made the mistake of pacing up and down the Bowery to clear my mind. I was living uptown, but after Rebecca's mother called to inform me of her death, which had not surprised me, but did fling me into a state of something like shock, I felt the need to walk up and down the Bowery, the way I did when I was last productive and of sound mind while in New York. Pacing up and down the Bowery, that double-wide street, practically the Champs-Élysées of Manhattan, listening to Mozart's clarinet concerto on my headphones, and avoiding the stares and entreaties of the many crazy people that sat on the ground outside the Bowery Mission, as if I were any less crazy than them, pacing back and forth down the Bowery, trying to get my mind to start working so I could write. Every time I make plans to travel, I think it's going to be better once I get there and I'm settled. In London, I think I'm going to be able to write once I'm in New York, on the Upper West Side in my grandmother's apartment, sitting at the enormous desk with room for my papers and books and sticky notes. But when I sit down in the imagined seat that would solve all my problems, it often does not work, and I need to go and walk up and down some street. When I was in London, I thought that if I could just walk up and down the Bowery, as I used to.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?